Hey, it's your girl Lola Zee on Let's Talk Supernatural.
Spirits, demons, ghosts, spiritual gifting, and paranormal activity. It's about to get raw and uncut.
Ain't nobody talk about this
Here on LTS Radio.
That's crazy, right? Yeah, I know. Listen to this show on Blog Talk Radio. What's up? It's your girl Lola Zee, and tonight is the premiere of Let's Talk Supernatural. I'm Lola Zee, of course, the host with the most, and we're going to be turning up Monday through Wednesday. And this is my co-host, Malik Williams.
How y'all doing out there? It's Malik Williams co-hosting for Let's Go Supernatural. Yeah, it's the premiere like she said. We're going to go over a couple of things. And what's the email you got on here?
Man. Anyway, so pretty much what you going to expect from the show, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. You're going to learn a lot of stuff about spirits, demons, dream interpretation. We're going to talk about the school a little bit. We're just going to talk about a lot of topics, whatever you want to talk about. You can also email all your questions, dreams that you want interpreted on the show, any thoughts that you want us to talk about, any topic. You can email it to me directly at ltsradio@jamescatoe.com. That is ltsradio@jamescatoe.com. Now, today's theme is going to be prophets and prophecy. Now, but I chose this topic pretty much because when people think about prophets, they think about psychics, and it's totally two different things. Also, a lot of people get the prophecies misconstrued when they get readings from them. Psychics, they're like just people with index cards with cartoons drawn on them. I mean, I really, in crystal balls and shit, like I really never been a type to really get into the psychic thing. But prophets, they give you the real shit, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, my personal experiences. Let me see. I've talked to a prophet before. His name is James Catoe. And the first time I met him, he told me that, this is before I had kids. I think I was 18. But he told me that I was going to have a daughter and she was not going to talk. So, I think a year later, I got pregnant and... Hold
on. Let's revisit that. So, he told you that your daughter wasn't going to talk?
Yeah. And I didn't understand it at the time. I'm like, why the fuck would she not talk? Like, what? Is she going to be a mute? Like, what the fuck? You know, I don't fucking know.
So, did he explain why she wasn't going to talk?
I mean, he didn't really say or really go into detail. I don't remember that far back. I just remember him telling me that.
So he just came to you. You came to get a prophecy from this guy.
Yeah.
James Catoe.
I think I asked him, was I going to have kids or something like, or what did he see in my future to come? He told me I was going to have a child, well, a daughter, and she wasn't going to talk. Yeah.
So it came to pass?
You going to let me finish the story?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Anyway. What was I at? Somebody catch me. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So a year went by or whatever, and I had my daughter. So, and it just, I don't know if it's like mother's intuition or something. I had forgot about the prophecy, mind you.
Right.
And it was just like a mother's intuition or something. Like something just didn't feel right. So later on, a couple years went by. I say 2 years. And I seen this little 2-year-old, and we was in the shoe store, and the little 2-year-old, she was running around picking up shoes, talking about what color she wanted. And then I looked at my daughter, and then I said, something don't seem right, because my daughter ain't doing that shit. Like, what the fuck?
Hold on, I'm gonna laugh at your daughter. So, you saw the 2-year-old in the store.
Yes, I seen another little, and she, you know.
You basically compared them and see your child wasn't where that 2-year-old was at.
Right.
Okay.
Mind you, I still had the intuition from the first day I laid eyes on her in the hospital.
So as this was going on, did you think about the prophecy when you had your child?
No, this shit didn't come to me. Like, it didn't come to me at all. Okay. I don't know. So one day I was at home and I was trying to get my daughter to say stuff. You know how you try to get your 1-year-old and 2-year-old to say mama, dad,
right.
Stuff like that, potty, whatever. Little small words. She would not, like, it's like she tried to say it, but every time she tried to say it, it was like, she would try to form her mouth to it, but it just would not come out. It would not come out. I had to call my mama. You know, that's the first person you always call when shit ain't right with your kids. Mom.
What's going on, Mom?
Exactly. So later on, I had ended up talking to James. I didn't see him for a long time, I had ended up running back into him, and he told me, remember, this was the prophecy I told you. He was going to have a daughter who wouldn't talk. And then it dawned on me like, oh my God, I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's pretty much my experience. You got any experiences?
Yeah, so my experience with the prophet, I haven't really had any experience with a psychic, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But the prophet, I actually met James Catoe in high school.
Right.
We had French class together. He was cheating on my test and shit, trying to get all answers and everything. So,
what?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the stuff he did in high school. So, how we started
it.
off,
I don't believe
I
it.
actually met him through... We had French class together, but he was trying to teach people astrology. And of course, at the time, I didn't know he was a prophet.
Okay.
So he was always with these girls. I forget their name, but they used to always come to him. And I'm like, damn, what the hell? Why they always under him like that? What the hell going on? So, you know, my eavesdropping ass. So I'm peeking over, looking and everything. I'm thinking they writing down answers to the test or whatever. They write down a whole astrology chart or something to that nature. So later on, it didn't dawn on me. During that time period, he told me, I think I was supposed to start a music company in high school. Of course, I'm getting excited. I'm happy about the thing, but I can't say I didn't believe it. It was too far away. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it was like me, like I ain't really into that. I was just into like smoking, playing basketball and stuff like that.
So it was exciting news, but you didn't really take heed to it.
Right. So
okay.
I'm like, I like it at the time he gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I didn't know it was a prophecy during that time period. He told me he was using astrology. So he was like, based on my birth date and your chart and all that, sound like a little nerd, whatever. So, so he was like, this what I basically see in the stars for you. So he was like, I see you opening up your own music company or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm stoked about that. It always stayed in the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. So I had like French class again the following year with him. Nothing really stood out. He's still doing astrology and everything. So after high school, I wound up getting back up with him at a technical college. We wound up going to a technical college. At that time, I was throwing parties. He came to me again with the same information, but he added more to it. So he was telling me that I'm still on track to open up a music company. So I was asking him, like, well, how the hell am I supposed to do that now? Like, what the hell going on? Like, what you see? I like, what the hell? Again, I'm still unfamiliar with prophets and prophecy. So I'm not knowing that this is what he's telling me, or this was he seeing the future.
Right.
So my dumb ass still looking, thinking it's astrology. Like, I'm just, something inside of me saying is a part of it's true. Like, just listen to what he's saying. But I didn't know specifically. Right. So then, I kind of forget what the other things he was telling me in that time period. But the thing that stood out the most was the music company. So I'm like, all right, so I'd say that was like 2006, 2007, 2005, 2006. I ran into him again at York Tech. 2008, MySpace was popping.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, you know, they had the music on the page and everything like that. So that's when I started throwing my parties in 2008. So he reached out to me in 2008 through MySpace. So on MySpace, as I'm throwing the parties, he'll like, let's link up basically. Let's get everything running. We gotta get your parties out the ground or whatever. So I like, all right, cool. So he came to me with an idea or whatever. We sat down, brainstorming, sitting at the table, round table, have a discussion. So he kind of round table, you know what I'm saying? So we sit down. It's my mama table at that, at my mama house. Oh my God. So we sitting down, discussing how we're gonna do the parties. So by this time, you know, I got a little more pride, a little more ego, whatever. I wanted to ask him about the prophecy, not knowing it was a prophecy, but I wanted to ask him more insight on it, but I didn't bring it up. So fast forward a little bit. So I was throwing parties. He helped me. That didn't work out the way I wanted to work out. I stopped being as interested in throwing parties. So probably about a year later, we actually started a music company. And then it was actually me and him together. So Zunix, I don't know if y'all familiar out there, y'all people in Rock Hill or whatever, Zunix Music Company. We had a couple of artists out there.
Rock Hill, South Carolina.
There you go. Don't say it like that now. They ain't that country now. They ain't that country. So we actually started a little music company then in Rock Hill. When we started it, I had in mind about the music company or whatever. So he was like, yeah. So he finally came to me after me probing and asking more questions about it. He like, well, you know all that stuff I was telling you in high school, whatever, about astrology. I was like, yeah, what's going on? He like, well, I use that because I got a gift. And I was like, okay. So I'm saying I had to sit my ass down. So I don't know what the hell about to happen. So he told me, like, well, I'm a prophet. And of course, first thing I'm thinking about religious, traditional, whatever. Mm-hmm. He was like, he wanted more an explanation about it. Like, I see things, see spirits, see demonic forces. I can read a person's spirit. I can see their past, present, and future. So by this time, I'm ready to ask them every goddamn thing. Stupid questions, dumb questions, like everything.
Yeah, I always be like that.
Right. So he gave me a couple of prophecies. It was just overwhelming. I think I'm saying all that to say, to explain prophecy, a lot of it, I think, is things you already kind of know or feel, and the prophet just give you confirmation on it. So you may feel like later on in life you're supposed to be a millionaire, supposed to be rich and be successful.
Right.
But you had so many pitfalls and things like that, you stop believing in your dream, and a prophet come in like, okay, well, you're supposed to be a millionaire. I'm just using this as a generic reason or generic way of explaining it. Mm-hmm. So then he was just telling me, like, yeah, you're supposed to be successful. You ain't supposed to be here. You're supposed to move. You're supposed to move on up, this and that stuff. So I'm eating it up. But you don't always get happy, good prophecies too. Right. So you just it's like real life. You get what I'm saying? So good things don't always happen to you. Right. I think the best thing for people to understand as far as prophet and prophecy is that it's based on your life and your current path. And based on that, you bring in the things that you attract based on how you living and things like that.
I can agree with that.
So he basically give you those prophecies and let you know, like, okay, this was to come. Make sure you watch out for this. And a lot of times what I see people, because they so stuck in tradition, is that they only want to get good prophecies to help them out in their life. But you got to realize you get good and bad. Right. So when James give you a bad prophecy, automatically kind of deem him as evil. No, it ain't good, this and that, so forth. But I'm here to tell you, y'all been through it. It's been 10 years now. I'm still here getting prophecies left and right. I take heed. I'm getting better over the time. But overall, I mean, prophecy is just confirmation of things you kind of already know. Right. As far as psychics, and what I learned about them, I haven't really had like hands-on experience for them, but they seem to use a lot of different devices. Like, it's not based on me being around James and seeing psychics. I don't think what they do is naturally real. I think they do have a gift, but they not using it in the way I think you should use it.
That shit ain't coming from inside.
Right. It's like they're using other things to kind of summon whatever they summon to kind of get insight on you.
Yeah, to be honest, I never really trusted psychics. I mean, I hope nobody gets offended, but I never really trusted them because somebody told me this lady, she was real into like shit. She used to leave her body and come and tell me like she be meditating just to leave her body during the regular day. But she would tell me to be careful about psychics because you just never
know. She was a psychic herself?
Uh-uh.
Oh, she was just some lady.
Yeah, because I was thinking about going to go see one. She's like, be careful because some of them put things on you to make you keep coming back to pay for services.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's what I heard, the same thing.
So yeah, I ain't with it.
You get away from that.
No. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to move things along. I want to talk about the spirit of the day. We're going to do that every day. The show is on. We're going to have a spirit of the day or demon of the day, whatever. But the spirit of the day is Lilith. I know a lot of y'all probably seen a picture in the Facebook group. If we could actually pull that picture up on the screen so the audience can see what's going on. But I'm going to just read the definition that was posted by the school. It says, she is a demonic spirit that attacks men and children. She manipulates men into cheating on their relationship partners, especially in marriages. She instills insecurity in men that is not spiritually inclined. She mostly manipulates men that are very happy in their relationships because they are very vulnerable and are not susceptible to negativity and are made as simple targets. She instills fear in children that sleep in the dark by themselves. She also incorporates so much fear that most children lose confidence in themselves and often urinate on themselves for many months to even years. Most of the children are very aware of their incontinence and still can't control it. Parents often relate to this phenomenon as psychological issues and never solve the problem. Lilith does not scare children. She instills fear in them. This means that she is a cognitive spirit and manipulates the mind of those that are happy and often vulnerable and unaware of negative occurrences. Now,
this bitch Lilith, she out here, ain't she?
Yeah,
Thought spirit.
I made a little pic me. Can we show that, please?
Yeah, pull that up.
This pose is okay. Y'all remember when Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj was fighting over this pose, right? Or they was trying to say it was a competition. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I remember that pose over there. Okay.
Anyway, I'm just here to say that Lil Kim stole the pose from this bitch right motherfucking here. And you can see it right there. And who did it the best? I really don't know. All them hoes look nasty as fuck. I don't know. But anyway.
Come on now. They look pretty good now. Come on. Lil Kim? You think that look nasty?
I mean, to me, it's just whatever. Anyway, my personal experience with Lilith, I'm going to have to say, would be with my daughter because she actually went to bed till she was 5. So, and she was always scared. Like, you could see her shaking when she did it. So, I got a feeling. And they would try to say, the doctors would always try to say that it was like muscle tone problems or just crazy stuff, or she need to be hypnotized. Like, it was crazy stuff. I'm like, what?
Do you feel sometimes like being that we exposed to supernatural things? I think a lot of times people believe in this, but they scared of it. So my question is to you, how would you explain that to doctors? You get what I'm saying? Being that we got knowledge about Lilith now, the spirit that may be affecting our kids, maybe affecting men. If we go to the doctor and they trying to give us a physical reason why this is happening, but you know, because your third eye open, so to say, and you know the spirit affecting them, like, but you want to tell them. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think we need more of like an outlet for that.
So what, like a spiritual doctor or something?
Yeah, I guess the closest thing would be a prophet. I guess he would be a spiritual doctor. Like, he gonna tell you what the spirit, right?
I mean, in this instance, if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have just called James Catoe. I'm gonna be real.
Like, look, bro, bring your ass over here.
Just be real with you. So did you have you had any experiences with her? Like, did this bitch ever come and tear your shit up? Like, what the fuck?
I say, because he said men and children. I say my son, because my son's still kind of going through it now. My son 8, so he still wet the bed. I think it's nothing. It seems like it's uncontrollable. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It seems like it's something other than. I just got to look more into it. So, based on this, I think it may be the Lilith spirit, but I'm not too sure. Based on how my son acting. The reason I say that because it's normal to piss a bed, but the way and how often he does it, and there's nothing going on that I'm aware of to affect him to this nature, other than something supernatural. Not just him peeing a bed, but me observing him and how he act. Right. Like he's extremely scared of the dark. I mean, he got a night light in there. Sometimes we keep the light on. When I try to talk to him, it's like a sense, like you say you got mother's intuition. Mm-hmm. It's like a bond I got with my son. When you know something ain't right with your son, or something ain't right with your kids, it's like I feel that with him. Right. But it's like, I can't come to my son and talk about stuff like this. You get what I'm saying? Like, saying you've been affected by his lyric spirit. Like, what the hell?
So what do you do when you got to talk to your kids about stuff like this? Like, how do you?
For me, I just try to deal with the problem, not really telling him about a spirit, but explaining to him, like, okay, encourage him, like, this may be normal, this such and such, walk him through the steps, or just getting him together and telling him I'm there if you need somebody to talk to, what's going on. But I think society puts us in a box to where you can't really explain these things. So when your kids or something, when they come to you, they kind of go and think they crazy or whatever. So that's why I'm excited about something like this coming out. Like, let's talk supernatural, because then you get to experience. Then you get to explain your experiences, and there's other people that experience the same thing, so you don't feel alone in it.
Right. And since you're talking about Let's Talk Supernatural, we actually have a group.
Hey, Let's Talk Supernatural.
Let's Talk
on
Supernatural.
Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all get it.
That's right. It's on Facebook. It's pretty much a group of people that do believe in the supernatural. People with giftings, people that have dreams, they want to interpret it. It's just like a lot of stuff going on in the group pertaining to the supernatural. How you find it, go on Facebook and get added. I'll tell somebody.
to tell somebody
let you on in
to
the
add
gates.
you on the group. One way or another, y'all gonna get added.
Like it's a whole bunch of crazy stories. Like Dwayne, he told a story about him doing astral projection. If you don't know what that is, it's actually when your soul, I guess your spirit, leaves your body,
Right,
and you're
right.
able to look at your body, and you just all over the place.
Right.
He was saying that he left out his body and was on the ceiling looking at himself.
Right, I saw that in there. Yeah, I experienced the same thing. Something I posted in the group as well, so I'm gonna re-explain that story to you guys. So what wound up happening, I went to bed. I was on my way to bed, and I didn't fall asleep yet. So I kept thinking in the back of my mind, like the stove was on, the stove on, the stove on. So I finally dozed off. When I dozed off, you know how you dreaming?
Right.
And you're in the dream, but you try to control it, but you can't control the dream. You just see things happen as you in the dream.
Right.
So I'm thinking, of course I was dreaming. So I floated. I didn't necessarily hit the ceiling, but I floated above my body. So I'm looking at my body in the bed. It may sound weird as hell, but I'm telling you, this shit happened. So I floated up and I'm looking down at my body. So as I'm looking down at my body, I guess my conscience or my soul, my spirit, kept thinking like the stove on, go cut the stove off, nigga, for the house burned down. So I went downstairs to cut the stove off, but the stove wasn't on. So as I was coming back up the stairs, and mind you, I'm floating, but it seems like I'm walking, but my feet is not touching the ground in the dream. So as I'm going up the stairs, I kept feeling a presence, like something was behind me. So I turned around. It's this big 6 foot shadowy figure.
What the fuck?
Looking with claws and everything. So my heart started beating like hell. So I'm like, oh, hell nah. So I hauled ass back in the room. I turned around and locked the door. But I can remember in the dream, like, nigga, you ain't yourself. Like, what's going on? Like, okay, I'm like, damn, am I dreaming? Is this real or what? So I feel like I was stuck. Like it was a movie I felt like I was living. So before you know it, the thing came banging at the door. So I'm like, oh, hell no. So the only thing I can remember, I remember the first thing that came to mind was Freddy. And then Freddy in the movies, they were telling you always got to wake yourself up before Freddy kill you. So that's the first thing I thought about as all this is going on. So I ran to my body and started shaking. I'm like, get up, get up, get up, get up. I'm yelling, but nothing coming out. I feel like I'm yelling, but I don't hear anything coming out. So then probably it felt like 5 minutes. I finally wake myself up, and I wake up sweating, heart beating like hell. So I'm looking around like, what the hell? I don't know what the hell just happened. So I wound up calling your boy, Catoe.
How old was you?
This was probably about when I was 26, 27.
What the fuck? I would have flipped though. Yo.
So I called him. He explained the whole story, let me know what it was. It's an out of body experience, and I forgot how he explained it in detail. But overall, with the information he gave me, I was able to look it up online, and I found people that went through the same similar thing. They were saying the cause of it mainly is when you focus on something before you go to sleep, and as you focusing on something, your spirit leaves it and try to, whatever it is you focus on, try to either obtain it, close it, or fix it, whatever it is. So I was like, man, that was crazy as hell.
What the?
That was crazy.
That is wild. I probably would have lost my shit. I would have woke up pissed on my damn self and some more shit. God damn.
Like my son in the bed.
For real. That shit crazy as hell. Oh my God. And then your girl, Lategra Mac, I think that's her name on the
Lategra.
yeah, shorty talking about it was a
Excuse us if we ain't pronouncing your name right. Miss Mac.
Miss Mac. Sure, she talking about it was a ghost, a lady ghost. With one of them blue and white dresses on.
Yeah, I think I saw a post.
I actually sent a pic. You could pull that picture up on the screen too. She showed us a picture of it. That's what she said she seen coming to her. She said she closed her eyes. No, first it was back on the wall. She was laying down.
Right.
She closed her eyes, I guess to try to make it go away. When she opened her eyes, the bitch was dead in her motherfucking face. And she said she closed them again. And then she seen a witch or something in her window. I don't know. Her story wild as hell. And then she said,
I would have to leave the house.
It was a triangle reflection on the wall. So I asked James what the hell that shit was. He was like, that was a paranormal portal. So that's why the bitch kept seeing shit, because it was stuff coming through
That's crazy.
It was stuff coming through closed. That was like a doorway. Hello, knock, we coming the fuck in. Like, that was going on with her.
For y'all out here experiencing supernatural shit, listen, y'all better get y'all a James on goddamn speed now. That's all I'm telling y'all. Y'all better have access. Some way, somehow. Y'all better get somebody like it so y'all can know what's going on.
They got some and then Misty Fox.
Did she say something about the dinosaur, didn't she? I forget specifically what she said.
Girl said the dinosaur claw tore her damn eye open.
Look. That there.
Tore her eye open like that.
That there.
Like, what the fuck did she say? She thought it was gone. And one day she was watching TV. That bitch was standing in her hallway. That shit reminded me of Jurassic Park. Like,
I ain't fucking
bitch,
with it.
you live in Jurassic Park. You watching Jurassic Park, then the bitch end up in the goddamn hallway. What the fuck? That's some wild shit.
Hell nah. That's too much for me.
Okay. So, since we're talking about prophecy and prophets, it's only right that we have a real prophet come in and we're going to interview him. His name is James Catoe. He goes by the Master Prophet. James, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
My name is James Catoe. I'm a master prophet. I'm over the school, the James Catoe School for Supernatural. So I'm sure many people are going to kind of get acquainted with that, hopefully, in due time.
Okay. Well, James, one thing I want to ask you is, what was the craziest thing that you have ever seen as a prophet with your prophetic gifting?
I'm gonna say the craziest thing would be it's not even what I've seen, it's just stuff that happened. Like I was in a whole little group and little ghosts came around and I was doing little huntings and stuff like that back in the day where I would talk to demonic forces, although that's not what I do anymore, but I was doing that back then.
Okay.
I didn't give two fucks. And so it was me and a friend who basically was out there and we were doing the haunting thing, trying to get the ghost out of the girl's house, and we were all holding hands, and the ghost told me she didn't want anybody to laugh at her.
What?
So I was like, okay, whatever. So the lady's daughter, she was in there laughing at the ghost because she didn't think it was real. Like she kept seeing stuff moving around, but she didn't think it was real. But she it's real off the chain. So the whole dresser picked up and beat the shit out of this girl, like literally.
The lady that was laughing.
The little girl that was laughing, right?
How old was she?
She was at least 8 or 9.
Oh my god!
But she was a badass little girl anyway.
So she beat the little girl with a dresser.
The dresser. I ran the hell out of the house after that. So
What the fuck?
I just saw the dresser come like straight to her ass, almost hit her right between the wall, and I was like, I gotta get the hell up out of there. So that was pretty much how that went. But if I would say the craziest thing, that's probably one of the craziest things I've seen.
Wow, that's crazy with kids. Like, okay, well, how was your childhood when you're dealing with your?
Oh my gosh, my mom scared the shit out of me. She never did. She never stopped me from talking to my imaginary friend. Everybody has an imaginary friend, which is really your spirit guide. But for the people that don't believe in magic, and I hope you do, they're like, what the fuck? Like, how you gonna talk to your spirit guide? But everybody's talking to spirit guides. And children are talking to them, and that's naturally your imaginary friend. But my mom never stopped mine. She had an owl, the little Bambi owl, sitting on the crib, and I wake up out of my sleep, and the shit was still sitting there, and it was on the dresser. I wake up, and the owl sitting right there, and I'm like, Mom, what's going on? She's smoking her cigarette. Boy, take your ass back to sleep. And she know damn hell well the owl is sitting right there on the crib. But the thing is, I'm saying that to say my mom never stopped me from seeing my imaginary friend, so my gifting never stopped.
Oh.
So as a child, my mom scared the shit out of me. My cousins locked me in closets. So I was always involved in so much spiritual stuff on a consistent basis. And so that's kind of what happened. And I would see ghosts, demonic forces, demons. And I got bit by a vampire at the age of 7.
You did what?
Got bit by a vampire. So
what the fuck did that look like?
Literally that. And I woke up the next day and I had the teeth marks on my neck. And I went to school. DSS got involved. It was bad as hell. And so then I talked to a psychologist. I had to go to a psychologist, and they said that basically I'm having hallucinations, and that I stuck myself with my fingers and whatever.
What the fuck? Your fingers don't even look like a
right. But scientists and psychologists will always try to find a way to make something seem legitimate because they don't want to believe, and because believing also brings on accountability. Accountability brings on drama. Drama brings on challenges. Challenges bring on death, so they just don't want to deal with it.
So did the motherfucker have a cape? That's what I need to know. Did the motherfucker have a black and red cape with slick back hair? Was his hair slick back too?
I really wasn't paying attention. I mean, this motherfucker had a pale face with red eyes, but it was in the dark. And I don't know if he had on a cape or not, but I know that he had these sharp ass shoulders. The rest of his body was black with a pale face, and it had long teeth like fangs.
What the fuck?
And I was screaming and hollering. I'm like, "Don't come near me! I'm scared as hell." I figured if I told him I was scared, he would stop. He didn't give two fucks. And so, and they don't act the way everybody think they act. They don't grow the fangs. The fangs are already there. So he just came and bit right in my neck, and then I jumped out the bed, turned on the light, went my mom's room, and then my mom thought I had a bad dream until she saw that I was still bleeding. So, of course, I had to go to the emergency room and stuff like that. But
so what does she have to say about that? Because that's like your child come running in a room and it's two big ass holes in the neck and it's bleeding. Your child telling you a vampire that bit me. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, what do you
Well, my mom wasn't the average mom. She, of course, was a Gemini. So, that shit was real thwarted. She didn't look at it like, oh, my God. She's like, okay, I mean, these are things that happen when you're in the spiritual realm. Honestly, but I think my mom may have had gifting, but she never really expressed it much. But she wasn't like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" And she was going crazy because I was bleeding a lot. But
do you know why it bit you? Like, what was the purpose?
I don't know why it bit me.
That's fucking.
I just know that I experienced it. I was asleep.
That is a childhood memory. You will
the psychologist told me I was watching scary movies before, and I wasn't watching a damn scary movie. I was watching Tiny Toon Adventures and shit. So I definitely wasn't watching a scary movie before that happened.
Yeah, that's
I had Tiny Toons recorded on tape on VHS. I remember on my brown floor model TV with the buttons and shit on the side with the green numbers. I remember that shit.
Yeah, everybody had that TV. I had one in my room too. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, so being the fact that you're a prophet and you read into people's past, present, and future, I know a lot of people can get misconstrued with interpreting the readings. Mm-hmm. So what advice do you have to give to the people if they were to get a reading from you?
Honest advice for people to get a reading from me. I really don't have any advice. I just say take heed.
Right. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess I'm trying to say, it's like, it's kind of like everything's not what it seems. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, your mother's gonna get hit with a car today, so you need to be aware, whatever.
Right.
So you go home and tell your mama or whatever, and then it don't happen. She don't believe you. She go to work and then it don't happen. They don't understand when you interfere with it, then it changes. So I guess that's like the purpose of the prophecy. Yeah.
So a lot of people, I guess I kind of see what you're saying. Most people don't know or understand prophecy. They want to hear what they want to hear. Okay. They want to turn shit around to match what they want it to be. And so a lot of times I call it, and I'm a train on this also in the school because it's very, very important. And what happens is I call it blind, the blind and the deaf syndrome. That's what I call it. The blind and deaf syndrome, or the BD syndrome. You don't hear or see a goddamn thing I'm saying until it happens. Then my phone blow up, my damn Facebook blowing up, everything blowing up. James, oh my God, this happened.
Oh my God.
James, it happened.
Oh, shit.
And by the time I talk to so many people, by the time you tell me it happened, I don't even know who or what the fuck you're talking about. Like, what happened? They're like, no, oh my God, James, remember when you said that my mother was going to do this to me, or this is going to happen, or this is going to happen to my car? I honestly, I don't remember. So you're going to have to refresh my memory to help me refresh your memory about what the hell you didn't want to remember. Right. And then it's ridiculous. But most people want to hear what they want to hear. So what happens is that they tell me the main thing. They say, well, I thought the prophecy had expired. I thought it was over. I thought that came and gone already. James, he was talking about that was from the past, or that already had that happened 2 years ago. And then it always happens. I never not had a prophecy not come to pass unless it was prophetic word. Right. So prophetic word, that's information that happened, that's going to happen to you based on the path you're on. And prophecy is something that's going to happen regardless of what path you're on. It's going to happen. Okay. And so a lot of people don't understand prophecy and prophetic word. They think that everything is based on what they want to hear. So I get a lot of people that say, well, James, all you do is deliver bad news. I don't deliver bad news unless you have a fucked up life. Right. If your life fucked up, I'm going to give you some fucked up information. So if you're like, oh, James, that's evil. Well, you might be evil, and that's probably why I'm giving you some evil ass information. Or your family might be evil, so they might be putting a root on your ass, or a hex, or a curse, and you're involved in that, and you're trying to figure out why is this happening to you. Well, it's happening because you have not dealt with the truth. The truth is, you're probably gay. You're probably, trying to go through a life cycle of alcoholism, drugs, and violence or whatever. And you think you're this really positive person, and you're really a fucked up individual. And then you're going to ask James for a reading, and then James is going to tell you some real ass shit. And now you're mad at James because you can't believe that God would ever say something like that.
Right.
Be mad at your own wife. Handle your business is what I always say. Make sure you handling your own shit. That's the main thing. Be truthful about what you're going through, so you're going to get a truthful reading. And then the other thing I tell people too is that people a lot of times I tell them, I'm like, well, you have to understand that you're talking to me, and they be like, I never heard no shit like that. Well, you haven't heard no shit like that. That's why you're talking to me. You need to hear some shit like this.
Right.
And then the other thing is people say, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I know you don't think it's going to happen. That's why the fuck you asking me. That's what I'm here for.
Then when it happened, that's when they start blowing your phone.
But I didn't know it was going to happen like that. Well, it's not. It ain't my responsibility to tell you how it's going to happen. I'm just a messenger of the Holy Spirit. Ooh. And so I just give you the information, and whatever he tells me to tell you, that's what it do. But a lot of people, they get real mad and angry, and they be like, I don't get it. I don't understand why he did that. Why James put this root on me? James doesn't really give a fuck that much. So if I'm putting a root on you, I have to really give a fuck. And I'm not putting a root on anybody because that shit bounces back. I just call an angel on your ass. That's a whole different situation.
So do you think you can remember a time of when somebody took your prophetic reading and got it misconstrued?
It happens often, especially when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, to the age I am now, I have come to the conclusion I'm just gonna have to be real frank and honest with you when it comes to prophetic readings. Like this one girl, I told I didn't know how to deliver bad news, so I told her you're gonna have a disease that's gonna make you die slowly.
Right. And
she's like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have diabetes, and I let her have that. I didn't let her have diabetes, but I let her take that home. With that in her mind, I'm thinking, well, eventually over time she's gonna know. And all of a sudden, she's in the fucking hospital. She had AIDS and HIV, all that shit.
God.
And I'm like, I gotta start telling people exactly what it is. So now I just point blank, you're about to die. And now I don't know death. Honestly, I don't know death. But when I say about to die, I'm saying it because you're not on the right path to even cure your AIDS, HIV, or any of that nature. You just kind of out here doing it, killing other people on the lineage. Ooh, and it's like, whatever, you live in Columbia, South Carolina, or Atlanta or something. But I'm just saying that's just how that has gone. And that's normally in the places I'm at when those kind of conversations go down. So I have to kind of tell a whole room, look, y'all are facing, it turns into like a damn medical seminar as opposed to a fucking prophetic session. I'm like, so most of y'all gonna be in here, y'all gonna pass on with the disease, a dis-ease, as opposed to you're gonna pass on because you are not being who you need to be or going through life the way you're supposed to. But it's ridiculous, very ridiculous. But people misconstrue it a lot. So I have mentored myself to develop information and say it exactly the way it is and straightforward. And as much as it may hurt me, I have to tell you because it'll do you some good in the end.
Okay, well, I seen that the school posted in the Facebook group about the Lilith spirit, and that's actually what we're talking about today. So, would you, for the people who's not in the group and want to know about what the Lilith spirit or demon, it's a demon, right? Or
demon.
It's a demon. What do you have to tell the people about the Lilith spirit?
See, and I don't really be having to tell the people anything. I just feel like whatever you gonna do, you're gonna do it. Now, the Lilith spirit the Lilith demon, and there's a difference in a demon and a spirit. A demon is from hell. A spirit is from a human. This is from the pits of hell. Lilith originated before there was Adam and Eve. Lilith looked at herself as equal to man. Women are fucking distraught everywhere about the Lilith spirit. So even on Facebook, I'm getting all these crazy ass women yelling and hollering on the post. Oh my God, this is some inequivalent shit. This is some bullshit for men and it's not, because they're saying, because Lilith makes men cheat on their relationship partners, but it's not just regular relationship partners. Right. It's the significant other, someone that you're really close to. A woman like, oh, this is some, misogynistic shit. Why would they make up a demon like that? Or this is fake. But as you're saying that, you're getting cheated on. So, shut the fuck up. That's what I would say. But, they still on Facebook doing what they do. And they're going to say that. They're going to get mad. And that is what it is. But Lilith, she manipulates men in their mind. And she normally works with children at a young age. And children begin to piss on themselves in bed. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And what's happening is they're losing their level of security. They're insecure as children. They're fearful as children. They're scared of the dark. And Lilith instills that fear while also messing up the marriage, causing there to be an unhappy home. And the home is very, very unhappy, and the home becomes dismantled. And what happens is that child grows up in that home, and 9 times out of 10, most children that deal with the Lilith spirit normally turn out homosexual. That is her purpose, because she despises man. So she does that to encourage, to discourage reproduction. So and it works just that way. She does it just to discourage reproduction and make sure that nobody has kids, because she doesn't want people to reproduce, because she doesn't like man.
That bitch is super evil. Okay, so moving right along, there was a couple of questions in the group, and it's only right that we do answer questions, do a little prophecy or whatever. A couple of people had some questions for you, like Miranda Richmond. She says, what should me and my children's father do about being together?
Okay. You have a picture of her, or can I see her Facebook?
Sure.
Just pull up a page. Look on her default.
Ooh, default. Oh, she got one of them little Snapchat filters. Oh, is it gonna come?
Woman in these Snapchat filters. Can't get accurate reading. I'm joking. I can see right through all of that, but just the point.
And the prophet has spoken.
I'm not saying Miranda has a messed up Snapchat filter.
No. But he's just saying in general. Is it gonna pull through for us? There we go. Boom.
Okay, so she want to know what
should her and her children do about being together, her and her baby daddy?
Been together without her baby daddy?
Yeah. Should they hold on, let me go back to it. Make sure I don't want to get the wrong question. Dang, this thing moving slow. Okay. She said, what should me and my children's father do about being together? Okay, so.
Oh, okay. What should her children's father should do about being together?
Yeah, her and her baby daddy. Should they stick together pretty much? What should they do?
I would really rather talk to her about that personally.
Ooh.
Like one-on-one. I'm gonna just leave it at this. No one's being honest right now about their commitment in the potential relationship that they're trying to have. I'm not going to say specifically until I talk to her personally, but to answer her question, they need to make a decision if they're going to stay together or if they're going to separate, because somebody still is dealing with somebody else in another relationship, and they're not being loyal. I'm going to say it like this: if you're asking questions trying to figure out what you should do, it might not be you who might be, being unloyal.
Jerry.
You might want to go check it out. But we can talk on that at a later time. But my advice, let it go.
Okay. Miss Tavia Blackman.
Hey, Miss Tavia. I'm very familiar with Miss Tavia.
Okay. She said, I just want to know if my future will be brighter than my present.
Okay. I don't see it being brighter than your present. Not anytime soon, Miss Tavia. You are holding on to so much guilt and burden from family, from friends, and so many other people. You are not allowing yourself the opportunity to love yourself. You're not allowing yourself the opportunity to grow. You're not allowing yourself the opportunity to be developed or anything. You are holding yourself hostage to the burdens of other people. So will your future be bright? No. People are using the living shit out of you.
Girl, you better get rid of them folks.
And you're letting them use you because you feel bad about loving yourself. And also there's a big issue concerning you feeling guilty about how you look, weight, all of this kind of stuff is happening. That's not the whole situation here. You need not to be worrying about that. Beauty does not come from just looks. Beauty comes from personality and things of that nature.
That's right.
So you just kind of letting yourself go downhill because you want other people to like you. You want to be accepted, and you like to be around people that fulfill you in a way that you can feel needed. So my advice in that instance, again, let that shit go. Easier said than done, but we can talk more in person. Well, not in person, but via an appointment.
Well, okay. Well, it's a whole bunch of questions. I'm gonna just do one more.
Okay.
And we're gonna start doing some other stuff. Okay, so Michael Thornton, they say your best move is your next move.
Okay.
What should I do? I'm at a fork in the road.
About?
He didn't really go into detail. That's all he said.
I don't know what Michael has an issue with right now, but I can tell you that, Michael, if you are listening, one of the things you need not to do is listen to what other people are saying about you. You are very conflicted between spiritual, being yourself, and being religious.
Ooh.
And you are cutting yourself dry trying to be something that you're not. I'm going to tell you right now, Michael, not to exploit you, but you're fake as hell. And what I mean by fake as hell, I mean that you are basically living in a way that you're not supposed to live. I'm not talking about something that's like overtly ridiculous, like drug abuse or something like that. But you are living to appease other people because you want to be accepted and you want people to see you a certain way, causing you to actually, minimize your personality and pretty much, run yourself rugged trying to be someone that you're not. And that's bullshit. Ooh. One of the things you need to do is be yourself regardless of who likes you or who doesn't. That's the best advice I can give you in that instance.
That's some good advice. You see how detailed and real and head on the prophecy be when you getting it from a real prophet versus a fake prophet? Anywho, we're gonna move things right along. Now, of course, this is the owner of James Catoe School for Supernatural. So we're gonna talk about the school and things of that nature. Ask you a couple questions like, what do you want to tell the people exactly what the school is about?
Okay, so the school, of course, is a school for supernatural, meaning that supernatural, and what I'm doing, I'm training and I'm creating the different dialogue and definitions and stuff like that for the school. Supernatural is known as what you call the supernatural spectrum.
Right.
I'm going to train on the supernatural spectrum, which has an involvement of many types of supernatural things, prophetic training, gift development, interpersonal growth development, skill processing, being able to read people, being able to identify spirits and stuff like that. There is no teaching for that. One of the biggest issues that I've had, the biggest problems that I've seen, and my biggest concern is that the church, the mega churches and churches in general are always oftentimes allowing people to just go to church.
Right.
You play church, you go in there, you hoop, holler, jump around, act like a fucking mess.
Pay your tithes and offerings.
Paying tithes and offerings, letting the pastor build up. The pastor now begins to look like a celebrity overnight, driving a new vehicle. And your ass is broke, sitting in the damn pews, trying to figure out what's going on with your life. The pastor has no answers. And when you start talking about miracles and stuff like that, it'll just pray on it. The Lord's going to bring forth the shining star. What shining star? The damn shining star that you in your fucking ears? That's what the fuck you talking about. You brought it forth on your fucking earring and your necklace and your pearls and your diamonds. But otherwise, you're sitting in the pew looking like a fucking mess. Trying to figure out what you need to do, where you need to go, how you need to do it. And you're still asking questions, but you can't ask nobody about what you saw last night. You had a dream about a demonic force attacking you, not recognizing that's the spirit of Jezebel attacking your life, tearing your ass up. And you're trying to figure out why you're not getting what you want because you don't have a 16 shield fold. But when I say a 16 shield or 16 fold shield, same thing, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because you're concerned about why I'm cussing. So it's just like, so many different dynamics here. The whole purpose of the school are for people that have gotten tired of the church. They've already done that. They've already mastered life. Mm-hmm. They pay their bills on time. They don't have income issues. They don't have problems with cars. They don't have issues with relationships and infidelity. They already mastered this. What's next?
Right.
And that's where the school, what the school is for. So the majority of the people that look at the school are going to look at the school in a way, they're going to look at it and belittle it and saying that it's something stupid, it's dumb. And a lot of atheists going to try to, downtrodden it. For me, and people tell me all the time, James, you should take down the negative things that's on Facebook and you should take that off so people won't see it. I don't give a fuck. Let you see it. Let you see how dumb you look. Downtrodden something that has absolutely nothing to do with you. I mean, and that's just the way I feel about it. And that's just the way it is. The school is for people that are ready for that next step, that have identified exactly where they want to be in life, where they want to go, but yet have not yet found the outlet to do that. And that's what the school is about. And it also is there to help people identify spirits, demonic forces, and get their life in a specific order that best suits them to move forward. And to let go or move strongholds and demonic forces, and get rid of all kinds of goblins and demons and things out of their life that they're holding on to, and holding on to the past and not letting the past go, and anticipating want people to accept you and all this other kind of stuff. So the school will teach you exactly how to get out of that situation. In those types of circumstances. And one of the main things is that I want to train up a lot of experts known as supernatural experts, or certified supernatural experts, known as CSEs. And what you will do as a certified supernatural expert, you will be capable of not necessarily reading people, but you'll have so much spiritual acknowledgement, direction, and understanding and expertise that you'll be able to help people get through situations and circumstances, of course, with a fee. And this will just create another level of a whole nother industry. And I don't give a damn about even saying it. I dare somebody to try it. Try to mock what I do. You ain't going to be able to do it. He's just not, because this is a specific calling that has been put on my life specifically for me. And I've been running from it for a long, long, long time. So I'm here now. Nigga here. And so and what's happening is that I'm enjoying the positivity that comes from it. People are really, really open to it, and they liking it. They really are happy that something's coming their way that they can now express their craziness. I call them the misfits. They don't have to be a misfit anymore. You can be yourself. You see crazy shit at night. You deal with crazy shit at night. You are talking to ghosts and demons and demonic forces. You do not have to hide anymore. It is real. And nobody's going to sit there and say, oh, that's crazy or that's evil. Shut the fuck up, because you're getting attacked by demons every night through your mama, through your relationship partner, through that repossession, through that eviction. You getting attacked every fucking second. So you can sit here and say, oh, I don't believe that. Well, you better believe it, because your ass is homeless. I'm just saying, it's just different situations. People be getting on my nerves with that, but that's where I'm at with it. Okay,
so pretty much it's teaching you the spiritual aspect of how to make it in life.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, are you really worried about people shunning your school away, or?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because if you're shunning the school away, I don't want you in my school anyway. I don't really give two fucks about you shunning the school away. People shun away the LGBT community, but you're gay.
Right.
You're shunning away the very community that you want to be in. It's the same ideology.
Right.
And the reason I reference homosexuality a lot is because that's the very thing that's like plaguing the whole fucking world. And, oh my God, such and such is gay. And then I look at homosexuality equivalently to how people are that are spiritually inclined to deal with the supernatural. Nobody wants to say anything, but they want to downtrot the next man because that person is saying something about it. Stop acting dumb. Just shut the fuck up and be real.
Right.
And that's just the way I look at it. And so I don't care if people shun the school or anything like that. I'm not looking for people, a whole lot of people, to even involve themselves in this, actually.
Really?
I know this can be a very small group of people. There's not going to be a lot of people at all. This is a very small group of people. And they're I consider them the leaders, the bold people, the ones that say, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to do what it do. Those are the kind of people that I'm looking for. To downtrot something, you're a fucking weak bitch anyway.
Right.
I don't want weak bullshit in my organization anyhow.
I don't feel like you have the right to down anything before even really trying it or learning about it.
Right.
Honestly. So that's how. Well, but you didn't answer all the questions before I even asked them. Who, what, when, where, and why. Oh, it is an online school. So, maybe years down the line, do you plan on getting like a physical location?
My projected goal is to get enough people to purchase enough courses online to where we will be able to open up a legitimized school. And in that school, everybody says they're imagining that'll be like Harry Potter. And it will be very similar. And I want to build people up out of the school that are experts, like I said, certified supernatural experts, especially in specified areas of astrology, prophetic gifting, seeing into the future, clairvoyance, clairsynthetic, clairkinesthetic, clairaudience, all those different things, and then have people be able to teach others how to do it, how to do telepathic thought processes, teleporting yourself into other dimensions and things, and be able to identify the core of what a person's going through. Also, just different things all around. So I do anticipate opening up a school, but I don't want this to be pussyfoot neither. When it's time for those courses to be open, I want everybody this time, I'm going to be there, James. Put your money where your mouth is, purchase a class,
That's right.
and be able to contribute to the actual school and do something with your life, because a lot of people having these callings, they may not be called to be a customer service representative at Sprint. That may not be their calling. Their calling may not be to work at the, flipping burgers at McDonald's. Their calling may not be to be a stripper or a dick sucker or, a pussy licker. Their calling might be to literally be...
Shit sound like Sugar Creek.
Well, in Sugar Creek, we got Sugar Creek, Wilkerson, Beatty-Sport Road. We can go down a fucking list.
Oh.
We got 5 Points, Columbia. It just go down the road, down the list. But that may not be their purpose. Their purpose might just be to do something with the supernatural calling. So I'm here to go ahead and open up that opportunity, because nobody else is doing it.
Well, okay. Well, that sounds so awesome, or whatever. Sounds great. I definitely look forward to being a trainer for the school one day. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that myself.
Okay.
Other than that, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Thank you for coming on the show.
Definitely.
Answering a few questions, doing a little prophecy readings. That was awesome. Well, anyway, in my conclusion, my advice for the people today would be...
Can't talk to the people, Lola. What's your advice? What you got to give these people?
My advice would be, when you're dealing with prophets or whatever, when you're getting your information, just make sure it's not a fake prophet. Okay? How you can tell, real prophets are more detailed and head on. So it's just real. The information is very detailed. Like he got it down to a T.
Right.
False prophets to me is the ones that give you more of a broad prophecy, not very detailed. It still leaves you needing answers. Like they may say a great fortune is coming your way, but where, bitch? Where the fuck is the fortune coming from?
Like where that money at?
Exactly. So
where that bag at? Let's secure it.
Yeah, that's how you can tell it's a fake prophet to me. And what you think, Malik?
Just to add and piggyback off what she was saying, I think when the Bible, not to get religious, but they say you're supposed to test the prophet. So when testing a prophet, you're supposed to see about his prophecy and see if it come to pass. So if he give you word and it come to pass, that's how one way you can validate it. And also just basically what you're doing, like I was saying earlier, that a lot of it has to do with confirmation. You already feel in your soul and your spirit that the things that's being said, you already kind of know about it.
Right.
And then the prophet is there to let you know, okay, this is what it is. So that's mainly my experience and how you can check to see if you're dealing with a real prophet. I had a couple of fake prophets approach me. You feel it, you see it, it's like they fake. Just like you meet a fake person.
It just don't feel.
Yeah, it don't click right.
When you meet a real prophet, you can feel it, like you get chills. It just instantly like, oh my God, you be so stuck into what they saying to you.
Right.
Like that's how you know it's real.
When you meet a real prophet, I'm telling you like this. You feel it. You get offended when they tell you some stuff. Like you feel it in your soul. Like it's some shit you ain't never. It's like real talk. They just give it to you.
The shit that you be having, that you think you done buried in the back of your head, they gonna bring the motherfucker out. So.
And you be shocked in the motherfucker. Like, how the fuck you know this? What's going on?
That's exactly how it be. And also, I would like to tell you guys to really be careful if you do go to a psychic. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But if you do decide to do that, I would say to be very careful, because there's a lot of them can be very deceitful to gain money.
Right,
and that is the spirit of Zeus, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So we're gonna say that
that's next week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna break it on in. Let y'all know, educate the people about these spirits out here.
Yep. So I mean, shoot, that's all we got for today. So just make sure you tune in Monday through Wednesday. We start at 8 p.m. Any questions that you have for the show, please email me at ltsradio@jamescatoe.com.
It is. Hey.